Right, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Hope you're well. My name's Jay, welcome to the channel. So we are going somewhere a little bit different today. We're going down to the sports bike factory in Donnington. I believe it's about an hour and a half or hour and 20 minutes for me, or 1 hour 17 it's saying actually from now. And we're just going to go down there. I put a thing out on Instagram just saying that I was going to be down there for 11 o'clock. And then I took it off this morning because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to go or not, but then decided that I'd already put it out there, so I'm not going to let people down. So we're just on his way down there. It's going to be mainly motorway, and I just want to see what that's about. There's a café down there. That's mainly what I'm going for, just to go to the café, because it's by the racetrack, Donnington racetrack, and see what that's about. Like I say, I've never been. A bit rainy, but it don't matter. I think it's going to stop raining shortly, probably in the next hour or so it's not a problem anyway. I've got Gore-Tex and that on. Yeah, I just had a thought yesterday, and I just thought, you know what, I've never been down to that café. It's a bit of a trek, but if we don't get out on the bike, then we are never going to get out on the bike, are we? So I put this route in using my route app, and already it's annoying, mates. It keeps telling me to turn round. So it might be alright when I get onto the actual motorway. But yeah, we're probably going to get some melts on the motorway. Well, it's a 50 zone, I think it's a 50 all the way down. Which is not an issue as long as the traffic just keeps rolling, just keeps moving. So it is 9:48 in the morning, Saturday morning. Look at the low-hanging clouds over there. Going here straight on, I think. This has all changed since I came up here last. I've been to Donington racetrack. I've never been to the actual café.
Now take the exit towards East Midlands Airport. Yards, take the first exit of the roundabout towards Castle Donnington.
At least it sounds like we're going in the right place anyway. Thought I was going to get lost then. Castle Donnington.
Now turn right towards Castle Donnington and then turn left onto Donnington Park.
Hey! Quite excited actually. Always like going to different places. So I'm guessing we're just going this one here then. Turning left here.
Now turn left onto Donnington Park and then turn left.
Leaves everywhere, look. Let's watch these bloody leaves. A few bikes here as well.
Now turn left and then turn right.
And here we are, the superbike factory in Donnington.
200 yards, turn right onto Donnington Park and then turn left.
I'll just go in here. So I've just been to the superbike café, or the superbike factory café, which is at Donnington. Weather's a bit gloomy, but sun's coming out now, so I'm going to head over to Matlock just to have a bit of a ride out. Would I recommend this café? Yeah, I would. I had a bacon and egg sandwich. It was a bit greasy and a bit fatty, but other than that, I mean, they've got a great setup. It's just a really nice location. You can hear the bikes in the background as well. You probably won't be able to pick them up on this, but I didn't show you around because there's a lot of YouTube videos on there. If you can go inside to look at the bikes either, because every time I do that, I always end up buying something, so stayed away from that. But yeah, let's get back on the bike and get over to Matlock. But yeah, pretty nice place, to be fair. A really nice little setup that I've never been before. I have seen it on YouTube though, on several videos. Just going past the airport now, look, all the planes in the distance, DHL planes actually. I made a mistake actually. I made the mistake of putting an invite out on Instagram, and it was like 3 o'clock this morning. A couple of people had seen it and liked it, and then when I woke up this morning about 8:30, I just like turned it off because I thought weather looks a bit gnarly, and then I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not bothered, because it did say that it was going to brighten up, and it's stuck to its word, and I thought I'm just going to go. But I wish I'd have left it on a little bit longer now, because people would have seen it 3 o'clock in the morning, then off at 8:30, not many would have seen it. So back in familiar territory now. Well, there's not many bikes here, look. Oh, there is some further up here, look. It's a lovely little place, this. I really like Matlock Bath. I definitely don't come to Matlock Bath in the car, because it's just an absolute nightmare. Unless it's sort of out of hours. I'll tell you what I've been watching on YouTube as well. You know, these audit channels, and I know they're a bit like Marmite, you either love them or hate them. I'm not really into the ones where they get engaged with people just for the sake of content and winding people up. I don't like that. But what does come out of them is the drone laws, and there's so many establishments. I'm just thinking now, going through, because we're going to go through Chatsworth in a minute, there's so many establishments that believe, because their policy says that there's no drones allowed, and I'll use an example. The one I've been watching is the National Trust. So they really think that drones are not to be used, and some of them will ask nicely not for them to take it up, but they still take it up anyway. But then you get other ones that will just say, no, it's our policy. They really think that the policy overrules the law. Now, for me, my understanding is, I could be completely wrong. I mean, I use the Drone Assist app all the time anyway. So whenever I'm going to take up, I just have a quick look on the Drone Assist app. There's like red, yellows and blues, and they all mean sort of different things. And just because like the red has got a no fly zone restriction, I think you can still apply to fly your drone and give them a flight plan, and some people will charge you for it and stuff like that. But the yellow ones might be over scores and stuff where they've got privacy concerns, because I think they do advise that you do request permission. Still don't think it's law, but I think it's just more of a an advisory, really. But I just find it interesting how all these companies or establishments, like, and I'm just wondering what Chatsworth House is like. I used to work for a company called the Health and Safety Laboratory, and it's in Buxton in Derbyshire, Harper Hill area, and there's a no-fly zone there, but there's reasons that there is a no-fly zone there. I mean, I can't really talk about it because I was sworn to secrecy, and I've signed a document which I'm not going to go against that on the open air. But it's like places like that you can understand. Certain facilities, MODs, prisons, things like that you can understand. I don't even think police stations are exempt, to be fair. I think police stations, you can do them over police stations and stuff. The only thing you've got to remember though, if you go to somewhere like, say like this Chatsworth House now, here, I don't know where their boundary starts, but to see the house and be able to see your drone at a safe distance, because you've always got to have eyes on the drone, I don't think you'll be able to see the house. So you probably have to send your drone up on their property, and that's the issue. Because it's private land, you have got to seek the written authority from that establishment. If you don't, then you're quite within your rights to go out onto the public area, onto a public road, take your drone off from that land, so it's public land, not private land, and land your drone there as well, but still fly over. But again, as long as you can see and you've got full tabs on your drone activity at all times. And that's my understanding of the law around drones. You've also got to have your operator's ID as well, which you pay for is about 11 quid. So you get a number, then you can order the stickers, and you have to put that number on your drone so it's visible, or it's visible any area where you don't need tools to access it. So I don't know, you could probably put it on your batteries, drop your battery. Why you'd do that, I don't know, but you may as well just stick it on the outside of the drone. It's not really going to do much. Obviously there's different rules for drones under 249 grams, which is what mine is. I don't think you need a flyer's ID for that, but I have got a flyer's ID, which means I can fly bigger drones anyway, because basically what that is 40 questions online for the drone, related to drone activity. So I've done that, and it lasts for 5 years. But yeah, if you're not really sure, but just be careful, don't sort of send your drone up off a public area, because I think it does become a bit of a legal issue then. You've just got to be so careful. So the best thing you can do is just stay away from any sort of circles, because there's too many things attached to them, if that makes sense. I'm not sure about, like I say, Chatsworth House, but I know that people have took drones over places like Blenheim Palace and stuff like that, and the police have turned up and the police can't do anything. But I just think, my point is that these establishments just think that they're exempt because they've got a policy. Well, that policy doesn't apply, does it, to Joe Public? Those policies, like I've got a policy at work, and to work there I have to adhere to that policy, and if I don't, I could be summoned to disciplinary, for example. And also, if you're filming somebody from a public area, again, filming as well, if you're filming somebody from a public area, you've got that right to do it. So if somebody says you've not had my permission, you don't need their permission if they're in a public area. If they're in a private area, the easiest way for them to deal with it is just ask you to leave. So if you go into this just goes back to my point in the CAF about filming people in the CAF. That's a private establishment, so they could just say, well, we don't want you filming in here, people are uncomfortable with it, I'm going to ask you to leave. And you can't say no, because then you're committing an offence, which is trespass. However, trespass isn't a criminal law. Trespass is actually civil law, so you're not going to get locked up by the police for trespassing unless you break an entry. So if you break an entry to get in, that's a criminal matter. If you go onto a private residence premises or whatever, and you're asked to leave and you say no, you're committing trespass. So that said establishment can then prosecute or sue you for trespassing. How do I know this? I've done contract law at university, believe it or not. This car's actually parked. So yeah, it's just I just find it really interesting. So there's, like I say, there's different types of law, and I just find it's really interesting, basically. But yeah, if you've got a drone, just be careful of the rules, because even if you say, well, I was on a public area, if the police are called because they believe you've took it up from a private, I think they can. I'm not sure how much pull they've got on seizing your drone, but they could probably seize your drone. But by law, you have got to have the operator's ID on all your drones, which will be the same operator ID. So if you've got 4 or 5 drones, you'll have the same number on all those. So once you've done the operator ID, then you'll get your stickers, which will be the same number for same amount of drones. And then the flyer ID is something that you need if you've got a drone that's over 249 grams, because when you go over 249 grams, it becomes a different entity. That's why, if you're a motor vlogger and you just want to do some drone footage of you, but like I do, the odd drone bits and bats, which is always good, into when you go somewhere special or you see something nice and you're into that, if you can be bothered to get your drone out, that is. Probably better off just getting a 249 gram, which is your DJI Mini. I've got the Mini 3. I think the Mini 4's just come out. Fantastic drones. You don't need anything more, to be fair, unless you want to start doing commercial flying. They do say as well, if you're making money from droning, so if you go out and you're filming a lot of stuff on your drone every day and you're doing it for clients and you're making money, then that again falls into different realms. You need licenses, you need insurances, because you're using it for commercial purpose and benefiting from sending that drone up, basically. So a bit of useless information, but I'm hoping if you're considering a drone, or you've got a drone and you didn't know that, it's worth knowing that. There's not many rules and regs as regards drones, apart from the areas you fly over, and obviously the legalities as well that's needed. So yeah, I'm hoping that is of interest. But I just thought I'd just bring that up, seeing as I'm just going through this, and I did watch one of those YouTube videos, and it just sort of enforces what I know about drones anyway, and but there's also a few legalities in there about criminal and civil law. And that's it. I'm not going to bore you anymore with that. So this is absolutely beautiful. So when I was saying about Chatsworth, I don't know, I think this road here, what I'm on, is a private road. We're nowhere near the house here. You've took something away from this. If not, I hope you've enjoyed the footage or the scenery and the little chat, and I shall see you on the next one. So remember guys, doesn't matter who you are, what you ride, or where you're from, every day's an adventure. Crazy out.